But we're in an era where why aren't we seeing Dungy's son? Why aren't we seeing Herm Edwards' son? Why aren't we seeing Lovie Smith's son? Why didn't we ever see Art Shell's son? Why didn't we ever see Edwards, Dennis, not
Dennis
Dennis,
Green.
Dennis Green son? Why didn't we ever see that? See, that's where the change needed. That's where the change needs to commit. Why is the chain of son to father so white? Y'all talking about black coaches, but something in the NFL is telling black coaches who've been black coaches, nah, son, I'm cool on you. Yes, for those of you who don't know, we are still setting up introductory. I'm not doing my introductory yet. So if you on live on Facebook on my page, DUPONTNIVEK. Hold on. I don't know how to spell my name still. DUPONTZNIVEK. We setting up. I know a lot of you just finished watching that exciting, fantastic finish of a Pro Bowl. Right. Whatever that was.
That's some mess. They need to find something else to do.
They need to find something else to do. But a lot of people might be trying to say we need to find something else to do on a Tuesday night here at 10:40. Welcoming you all to a February 3rd edition of the NOJASSSHOW show, where I, because Tank wasn't watching it, just finished watching the 2025, 2026 Pro Bowl, where the NFC won 66-52, a commanding 66-52 basketball game. You know, make sure you like and subscribe. You can find us on YouTube live at NOJASSSHOW show. Find us on TikTok live. You can find us in the locker room. You can find us in the electronic store. You can find us on Facebook, DUPONTZNIVEK. You can find us at the link on the No Jazz Show page. Y'all need to join that page because a lot of y'all think y'all know football. A lot of y'all think y'all know sports. You know, the truth of the matter is none of us do, but we kicking a whole lot of data and facts back and forth at each other. And if you can keep it simple and not do all that arguing, we might learn something. You know, especially in these groups. I'm not gonna give you a shout out, but a lot of these Cowboys groups, y'all need to tighten up. But anyway, locker room, and you can find it on Tank's page. The R, the U, the double S, the E, the LL ladies love Tanker page where you can find the No Jazz Show. And also, we're not live on there, but you can find us on Instagram. Check out our latest posts on Twitter and X. I need to get back on that. I've been getting lazy on that. I like that. The X files are like the laziest of my files. It's like TikTok, YouTube. It's got to have that little extra magic, you know, to make that thing work. But I get a little lazy on that, but I will be posting. Make sure you again like, subscribe, share, send us some information. Comment, chat, get in there. If you don't like me, you don't like my face, you don't like my hat, let me know. I'm not gonna change it. I will, but let me know. You know, a lot going on in sports. But before we begin, of course, I'm sitting up here talking to him, but I do want to make sure everyone knows. Tapping into his 5.
What's going on, peoples? What's going on? What's going on? This is a super week. See what I did there?
Super week. We're going to be giving out our predictions of the show. Shout out to me, man. I'm about to have a Snoop moment. You want to know what happened to me, Tank?
What happened?
You'll never believe this one. Look at this ugly mug. But you know what? I got a No Jazz groupie. You believe that? You need to check your DMs. You need to check your DMs.
Okay. I'll have to look and see what's going on.
What's going on in your DM? I think it was the new graphics we posted. But I got a No Jazz groupie. I hope she ain't watching because I'm calling her out. I got a No Jazz groupie, all in my DM. I be seeing you on live. Shout out to my boy Sid Mitchell because every time I be doing my little girl voice, he be giggling at me. I be like, live. He laughing. You know what I'm saying? I got to be all animated with it. But at any rate, I know you all have seen the latest videos posted. Make sure you go back and watch those videos. And before we get to it, make sure we give a shout out to the people that pay the bills. LYTESNACK. Light Snack for all your food delivery needs. Make sure you order from Light Snack. And when you order from Light Snack, make sure you order those Magic City wings. Make sure you order those Magic City wings or anybody wings for the most part. Coming up this weekend for the Super Bowl. I know they want to get their shameless plug in there for that. For the Super Bowl coming up. And make sure you always don't forget to lick the sauce. And of course, QUIKVISITS, quickvisits.com for all your ladies wear lingerie needs. Y'all boy got 11 days to go. And I was just in a grocery store. I was in the grocery store and I saw them little white teddy bears. It's a little grocery store up the street. Saw the little white last minute teddy bear. Let me tell you something, little white last minute teddy bears, y'all. It was 5 of them in there. What's the date? Tuesday. It was 5 of them in there Saturday. I only saw 2. Boys on their job. Y'all try to go in there on the 14th. Y'all try to go in there on the 14th. I don't know if they're gonna restock.
Yeah, you can be buying the little baskets on the side of the road.
Buying the basket on the side of the road.
$25.
You gotta be buying. I might have to get something from a little groupie. You know what I'm saying? I might have to do that. And then don't forget, for all y'all ladies, for all your hair care needs, make sure you visit and go to Bliss Brazilian. They got them deals going on all them bundles. And just like Tank say, this might be the only sports podcast that has a variety of products that we sell. So, you know, from hair to wings, technically it all go together.
Yeah.
Technically
hair, wings, snacks.
You know what I mean? All of that good stuff. And this is the first time that we have had an opportunity to wish everyone a happy. Is it happy? I don't even know. But I guess it's happy. But I'm just gonna say happy Black History Month. You know, to everyone. We're gonna get into Black History a bit when we talk about these coach hirings and how we feel about that. And also, me being the entertainment guy I am, I'm not gonna hit refresh today, but we might have an opportunity to hit refresh on something. Who knows? A hit refresh button just be coming out of nowhere. If you don't know what the hit refresh button is, and you haven't been following us, that's when we switch the subject up a little bit, go on to another universal topic. Because Tank is just like a universal guy. You know what I'm saying? He's like a Swiss Army knife up there in his head. He can just talk about anything. But at any rate, you know, I just want to give all the Grammy winners a shout out for all their wins Sunday night. That was good. Personally, I just want to say this personally. I feel like Let God Sort 'Em Out was just a better rap album than GNX. It's just me. I feel like Pharrell was in his bag. Not saying Kendrick wasn't good. Don't attack me, chat. Don't attack me. But not saying Kendrick GNX wasn't good. It was just heavy sampled that I could tell what it was. You know what I'm saying? So it was almost like you really attempted to make me like songs I already like, and that's kind of like a cheat code. Where Pharrell and Malice and Pusha T, the way they was hitting off each other, man, I just felt like personally, I'd rather go with, you know,
you want something all new.
Let God Sort 'Em Out. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say Pharrell didn't sample. But it's just I like to not be able to tell what the sample is. You know,
or it come out later, you find a hidden note,
a hidden beat
in there.
Exactly.
Okay, that's what that is. Okay,
that's what that is.
It sounded kind of familiar. Yeah.
Right. My Apple Music heard me playing that so much it went back and found the old Isaac Brothers track on the bridge. You know, that's what I like. So shout out to Pharrell who in his bag. Shout out to Pharrell again, or actually, as T.I. pointed out, Skateboard P. With that latest song they got, you know, I will be figuring out a way to clip that up a little bit to get that across on TikTok because I'm gonna use that in some of my clips. I like that T.I. That T.I. got a lot of people in the chokehold right now. If you haven't heard that new T.I., it's riding.
Back the way it started.
Gym music cut all the hair off. Got the hat tilted. I'm just telling you, he's doing it. But having said all that, without breathing through my nose, let's let's get into this sports talk, man, because I know Tank want to talk about it, and we want to get to it. So I'm just gonna go wild card here. You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna pull the card out the deck because it's Super Bowl week. We know who made it. The Patriots playing the Seattle Seahawks in a rematch. What do you think about the matchup?
I think it's one of those. You want my prediction or just what
You
I
can
think
give
the
your
matchup.
we
I
can
think the
run right
matchup.
prediction,
I
and then
think the
you'll
matchup is. I think it's a matchup of a team that has everything that and is capable of doing everything well on a high level, and you have another one that's in Seattle, and you have another scrappy, well coached, hard headed team, hard headed in the fact that hey, you should not be this good, this fast, you should not be winning, but you're doing it anyway because there's nothing outstanding about the Patriots as a individually. I mean, Drake May is in consideration for MVP. We'll find that out this weekend. But other than that, there's nothing outstanding with them. What's his name? The DB. I can't remember his name now, but he got no picks this year, but he does a good job at corner. Christian Gonzalez.
Oh
But,
yeah, Christian Gonzalez gets left out of a lot of DB conversations, especially in the AFC.
Yeah, he's got to get what's going to help that for him is he needs to get more. He needs to get some picks because if you don't,
he's the AJ Terrell of the he's the AJ Terrell of the AFC.
Yeah, he's good corner, good coverage and everything, but doesn't have picks, and that's what everybody looks at. The first thing people look at when you look at a corner is how many picks he had. Well, he didn't have but one pick this year. Oh man, he must not be that good. Some guys, yeah, it's just different. That's not always the case. But I think it's a good matchup. I think it's a good matchup in the fact that, it's two different styles. So, styles make fights. I do believe that I still believe that it's going to have to take a comedy of errors in order for the Patriots to win. I just think Seattle is that much better in every category than the Patriots, even coaching wise. I don't think that there is anything that the Patriots do better as a unit than Seattle. That includes running the ball, that's stopping the run, pass coverage, everything. But I think it's going to be I think the Patriots are going to be scrappy. I don't think that Seattle is going to blow them out. And what you really need in order for Seattle not to lose, you need Darnold to continue doing what he's been doing in the playoffs and not have not throwing picks and anything. But I just think that it's going to be I think that it should be about a 7 to 8 point win for Seattle.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
But we go more into it later in the show. But I think it's a good matchup. And I got some bias. Everyone knows I'm a Steelers fan, so I do want to see New England lose and preferably get dragged. Because I don't want to see them be the first team to get 7 rings. I don't want to see New England be the first team to get 7 rings. But you got to give it to them. There's been talk about New England playing a weak schedule. They had one of the weakest schedules in the league. And, they're playing everybody they played this year got paid. Nobody played them for free. Nobody was a non-NFL team. And regardless of the strength of schedule, once you get to the playoffs, you're playing the best teams in the conference and you have to win. And that's what they did. And they hung in there and they made something happen in Denver, which, granted, Denver lost their quarterback, but still looking at looking at how they execute, looking at, hey, Drake May, hey, we can hold you. The defense is able to keep things close enough so that Drake can get his feet under him, and then some things can happen because he is a mobile quarterback. So it's not as if he's stuck in the pocket. He can move. He is a big boy, and so I think it's going to be a good matchup. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think the overriding factors are Seattle is just much. I think Seattle is physical everywhere and has the skill positions to beat you. I don't think New England has this. New England's tough and gritty, but I don't think they have an answer for JSN. I don't think Gonzalez want to see that. That's not what you want. That's not what you want on the biggest stage your first time out.
This would definitely, if he does have a chip on his shoulder, He definitely can get some credibility with that one, especially if he can make Smith and Jigma move around or make the offense coordinator make him move around.
Yeah, and they do move him around also, and then you still got Cup, who's shown that he can still make cause problems at tight end as well.
Oh yeah, I like the tight end.
Yeah, and they have enough weaponage so that even with the running game, with shooting they out, they have Walker who can run the rock and who can pound it in there. He can give you 20 carries for $150, or he can give you 20 carries for a hard fought 60 yards. But he's gonna make you pay. He's a tough, fast, quick runner. He's also elusive when he needs to be. They've got a balanced attack. I think their attack is much more balanced in every aspect offensively than New England's offense. Fast, quick runner.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm doubling up. I'm doubling up. Now, from my matchup perspective is kind of like yours, and I'm definitely I'm going to have to be biased with my pick. I'm going to have to be biased with my pick because you, just like me, I don't want to see that that 7 go up on the board.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that 7 go up on the board because that pushes New England out even further than for my Cowboys than it does your Steelers. And even though I used to be able to say we win in doubles, I can't say that
Yeah.
with a straight face anymore. But as far as the matchup is concerned, I'm going to call this one of those. And that's why I have to go to a Super Bowl party with New England fans, because this is one of those Super Bowl party Super Bowls where a lot of people are just going to be watching because they want to go to a Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
It's not the big brand for me, and I know the NFL loves its parity. You want to see people different in there. As crazy as it sounds, and we've seen this matchup before, definitely going to have a high level of alumni and, vets who are rooting for, their respective teams. I'm pretty sure Santa Clara, a lot of those guys are out there rooting Seattle on and New England on. But sincerely, I am actually going for Seattle also because something in my heart is rooting for Sam Darnold.
Yeah, me too. I want to see him get one.
Something in my heart is rooting for Sam Darnold. If I'm not,
cue up Michelle A.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't even know I did that. I didn't even know I did that. But it really is, because he might be probably since who? Jim Plunkett.
I was gonna say
We've seen that
Plunkett.
guy who had that career, looked like it was going somewhere, didn't go anywhere. All of a sudden, get a Super Bowl win, you're on another level.
He's overcome that the past 2 seasons, but the coup de grace will be if he wins it. He can go from bust to a possible Super Bowl MVP.
With a win, tap into a league MVP.
Mm-hmm.
He could tap into that. I'm also looking at, would this be USC's first one on the board? Quarterback? Has USC had a quarterback play in the Super Bowl or start?
Not start. I'm trying to think, because as prestigious as that program is, they don't have a litany of professional quarterbacks who've done anything.
They really don't.
Carson Palmer would probably be their best.
Carson Palmer will probably be their best, and they are known for quarterbacks and the tailbacks, and have the tailbacks been in Super Bowls like that?
Marcus.
You probably got to go back to Marcus.
Other dude, no, Reggie Brooks didn't make it. No, I think Marcus is the only one.
Reggie
Bush.
Reggie Bush did make it with Saints. Reggie Bush did make it. So, but in line with the numbers, this will be good for them. So I'm rooting for them in that regard. So now I guess, what's your prediction?
If it's a comedy of errors, his sucker could be 30-0 in no time in favor of Seattle. But what I'm expecting is probably something along the lines of 31-21, 31-24.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my 34-21 Seattle and
Yeah, Seattle.
34-21 Seattle with 4. That's my over under 4 camera pans of Cardi B.
Minimum for nah. I say it's gonna be 8. I think it's gonna be 2 per quarter.
You think 2?
I think 2 per quarter, and that depend. And if Diggs is getting the ball, yeah, each time they score, if Diggs is getting the ball, you're gonna see a lot more of it. And it depends on if she brings anybody with her. If she
Right.
brings a name with her. So yeah, yeah, I think it's gonna be 8.
I'm
But I
calling
do.
for
I also think that.
with Bad Bunny doing the halftime show,
Mhm.
and I know she's gonna at least get 1 or 2 there. So I'm really like,
Yeah,
I'm really saying Diggs might not get off.
yeah. I don't think he is.
I
I think this might be the one game we see some nerves out of May.
mm,
I think we'll see some nerves out of May, and I think Seattle is gonna come with some different packages on defense. It's gonna have him a little confused. Like, wait a minute, they haven't shown this look before.
haven't shown
Why
this
is
yet.
he?
Showing like
Why
2
is
weeks.
he coming? Yeah, why is he coming? Why is he staying? I think that's gonna happen more times than not. And I do think the JS is probably going to be the MVP. I think he's going to end up like 117 yards, 2 touchdowns, and probably 11 receptions, at least 11 targets, maybe 8 catches. And I think that Gonzalez is going to do a fair job on him. But,
It's
you
just gonna
know,
be too much coming.
yeah, he's the best receiver in the league right now. And, you can't argue Nakua, but, and somehow Njigba is just open. He just open, not doing the 50-50 balls, which he can do, but he's just open. Like, wait a minute, why is no one around him? And he's not like he's going and sitting down in the zone. He's running his route. He's running through zones. He's putting a move. His routes are fluid. You don't know what he's going to do next because all of them look the same. I'm looking forward to seeing him, and I'm hoping that Kenny Walker gets off. I hope he gets off.
That's how I think that's how and Jig we're gonna get off.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have a problem with seeing Kenny Walker be the unlikely Super Bowl MVP. Shouts out to the running back position.
And we know that's exactly why.
Hmm.
You know, you talking about that. Now I'm gonna jump a little bit off that Super Bowl and we gonna go into the biggest omission from the Hall of Fame and who out of the finalists you believe is gonna get in. And I say that because we have Eli Manning who didn't get in. What do you think about that?
I know why he didn't get in, and I don't
Well,
think that
first
he
ballot, I
deserved.
should say.
Yeah, no, this is his second year because he was first ballot last year. Last year
He was
would have been
first
his
ballot
first.
last year?
Last year would have been his first ballot, but he didn't get in. If I'm not
Whoa.
mistaken, yeah, he didn't get in last year, and this year they were thinking, there was talk that okay, he'll probably get in, but he didn't get in this year. But before we get into that, I'll go into that, but when is the last time you heard so much about who's not getting in prior to the announcement of who's getting in?
Well,
Usually you don't hear that.
Bill brought up a Bill Belichick situation and brought up that
Yeah,
whole
now it's like, okay, so Bill Belichick's not getting in. Eli's not getting in. Kraft isn't getting in. Uh,
Kraft thing. Yeah, we were getting to him.
yeah, but with Eli not getting in, I understand. And I'm gonna sound hypocritical because I'm sorry, rings matter. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says, rings matter because that's why you play. That's the whole point of playing the game, winning rings. And if you draft a quarterback in the first round, you definitely want to get a ring out of him. The Giants got 2 out of Eli. That being said, Eli had 2 good runs in the playoffs, and the rest of the time, Eli played himself from being a just above 500 quarterback to being a 500 quarterback. Now,
I'm playing long.
Eli never was an all pro. He never led the league in anything. I don't think that I don't think that he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah. I don't think that he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Even he's got 2 rings, but he's not. Nobody ever said that Eli is the best quarterback in the league, or Eli is the second best, or Eli is the top 3, top 5 quarterback in the league. Eli played well when they needed him to in the postseason, those 2 runs. But most of the time, the Giants weren't making the playoffs. The Giants didn't run that division. You know, the defense was helping them out. And poor him, he left too early. He retired a year too early. But before that, Tiki was the most valuable player on their offense for all those years, for most of those years that Eli was there before the Super Bowls. I don't think that Eli is really a big omission. I think people say, okay,
Manning name.
yeah, the name and the 2 rings is why he should be in. But when you look at overall numbers, Eli had and you can't do it, but you take away those 2 playoff runs, Super Bowl runs, Eli had a long, good career. Not great, nothing great about it, but good. And you could win with Eli, but you could also win in spite of Eli. I don't think he was the difference maker in and week out.
Who was the
Again,
quarterback? Who was the quarterback when Tiki led the team in Tampa and they lost to was that Kerry Collins?
Yeah, it was Kerry Collins.
See, what I think is somebody arguing for Eli wrong.
Yeah, because I think he's going to get in eventually, but for me, I wouldn't put him in. And that's not to say he wasn't a good quarterback. He's just, well, we've talked about before. For me, when I think of Hall of Famers, I say, okay, are you one of the best to ever play this game? Are you legitimately one of the best to ever play this game? And if we're in the backyard and it's your turn to pick, would you pick this person and be like, yeah, we good? I don't think anybody would do that with
Eli might get in 2028 when Tom eligible, so he can be on the podium and do his speech and then go right behind him.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him in, but I think that he's going to eventually get in. But I don't look at him as being an omission this year.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm saying this. The attorney in me is coming out. No, I'm not an attorney. I just argue points. The lowest ranked defense, and back this defense win championships. The lowest ranked defense to win a Super Bowl was a 25th ranked defense. That 25th ranked defense was those New York Giants. I went 9-7, ended up winning the East. There's been an argument for Dak Prescott, who is you can't win, and I do like a teeter-totter. You know what I'm saying? Like when one person low, another person high. If the girl got booty, she probably don't have no top. If she got some top, she probably ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is, my parallel with that is I'm looking at when you put money into a quarterback, not that this happened with Eli. When you put all your money into a quarterback, opportunity cost, and you're not going to have a defense. And Cam Newton was stricken for saying that Dak wasn't doing enough. And it's not about Dak. Dak wasn't doing enough to, in big moments, to win those games. And I'm saying all that because Eli went 9-7. He pretty much carried his team the whole year. And the 2 running backs, I don't want to take away from them. The defensive line was getting pressure, and then they started getting healthy as the playoffs went on. But the 25th ranked defense, who was giving up, I think they were giving up like 26 points, and the offense was only scoring average 24 points. And Eli won a Super Bowl with a 9-7 squad, had to get in by winning the East. And I'm saying, like, that could have got in 10-7 to the playoffs. I'm not saying what they would have done, but the lowest ranked defense, five is literally 7 teams away from 32. 26 points and 30 is 4 points. Like I said, I know it's not perfect math, but you would think that if the 8th ranked offense could win a championship with the 25th ranked defense, top 3 offense would have the same offset. 30th ranked defense. It's not perfect math, but my point is, when arguing Eli's point, something turned on in that young man. Super Bowl time.
For those 2 runs. You also have to acknowledge in one of those Super Bowls, a divine catch by David Tyree, who never did anything else the next couple of years and was out of the league. Somehow he made that catch, and that's what got that turnaround. Yeah, but in the other one,
in a divine scramble to put him in position for that divine catch. It's like, I get it, and I believe the argument is because he wins. I think I mean, because he beat Tom Brady. But I think Eli most definitely probably needed to have with his 2 Super Bowl wins, he needed, you know how Terrell rushed for 2,000 yards? He needed to lead the league in passing and break like a touchdown record
Yeah,
or
you need to have
5,000
something. He
yards.
need to
That's
he need to have a record.
right, to go along with the 2, and that might have solidified it for him. Now, Robert Kraft, I'm just gonna say it and say he might be falling under the same scrutiny because what Bill Belichick and Tom did was under his watch.
Yeah, and especially with other and getting happy endings
And
in
getting
a
come on now.
in a bathhouse in
I like
Florida.
exactly. I like to judge you for what you did between the lines and not what you do on your own time, but
Yeah,
a lot of people
yeah,
see that.
yeah.
And
And what's going on in the political climate right now? That that will have something to do with
you
it
don't want
because
that
there are
news.
things. Yeah, because there are stigmas. There are stigmas attached to going to a bathhouse as far as the people working there.
Mhm.
And that mean if you're going, that means you are indulging and you're helping that practice, the ST practice. I'm not saying that was the case there, but that's what goes through people's minds. That's what's going on there when they work in those places. But I think that factors in also. And along with, I'm trying to think, how big of an impact has Kraft had on the NFL itself? It's not just, hey, I'm the owner, my team is been to 11 Super Bowls under my watch, which you can't brush that aside. But, when you look at when owners get in, it's not just about your team winning, it's about some other things that you do to benefit the league.
Absolutely.
But you look at 32 years he's on the team and they've been to 11 Super Bowls. That's basically because of that great run. That's basically every 3 years they in the Super Bowl. So I mean, it's kind of hard to knock because he does have to have hired and have kept the proper front office in order for those things, that success to happen. Because we've seen other billionaire owners who have muffed it forever and haven't come close to any of that.
He has a great
So,
story. He has a great story in regards to purchasing the parking lots and accumulating the money
mhm.
to eventually purchase the Patriots when he did. Yet his fingerprint on the NFL, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean,
I don't
he got
know.
he got 11 AFC championships and 6 Super Bowls. So that counts for something. But like I said, he has had the right people in position for as his head coach, keeping him, hiring him, keeping him, the GM, getting the right GM to do these things, and hiring the right one and letting them do their job. So you got to give him some credit for that. But outside of that, what has he done? I mean, really, to really shape the NFL, what has he done? It was already because there's always things the NFL wants to do to change, to expand and improve its foothold, its chokehold it has on the U.S. and
Maybe,
to get
maybe,
it
maybe,
abroad. But
maybe he is indeed one of those guys because he's always getting, and I think this is his props in relation to the Jerry Joneses and the Al Davises being the personas that they are. He's not that level of a persona until he gets to the bathhouse and the Super Bowl parties, where he always had the rappers. I give him
yeah,
that. But he represents hip hop very well. It's just maybe he's such a low key guy that whatever he's doing, we won't find out until afterwards. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Will he be what? He'll be the third living owner to make it to the Hall of Fame while still
It's about all time, or you talking about current?
all time.
Let's see. Rooney made it.
Rooney,
Both Rooneys made it.
I know Al
Uh,
made it.
Al,
Al was in there.
uh, Jerry. Who else?
He might be the fourth.
Mara, the Giants owner.
Omar in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
Okay.
not the current one, but the older one. The
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 older one,
dad,
the older one
the
was still
dad,
alive when he made it?
the one who, yeah,
Okay.
Wilmington Mara. That's his name.
Yeah.
And I think there's been a couple. There's been a couple or more. Yeah. Oh, no, Pat Bowlen didn't still own the team. Wait a minute, or did he? I think he stepped down. But
Pat
Pat
Bowlen had to
Bowlen,
step down by the time
yeah,
he got
yeah.
yeah, he had to step. Okay. All right. Now, we're gonna do the because it's gonna be Super Bowl talk. We can jump into that anytime. So
Mhm.
we'll get to them lineups because I like that.
Mhm.
But I did want to talk about um NFL going to Paris. No.
Yeah.
Saying 8 to 10 years. It's an internationally watched, no, globally watched game, but it's not international. And I think they're setting up could you think they can do that without having a team, an international team? Or you think they go ahead and cuz like who's the
Mhm.
closest one to have that fan base? The Cowboys in Mexico?
Jacksonville, 'cause Jacksonville goes and plays every year. They have multiple international games every year. So
What about the
I would
international
say,
fan base? I mean,
well,
the
as
Super
far
Bowl
as
doesn't matter.
well, I'm talking about as far as going over there so often. What's his
Right.
name? The owner. He's like, so that's why I would say them. But, but not as far as a team, a good team that has one, the Steelers do, especially in Ireland. But every time they go wherever, they talk about all these Steeler fans there, the Steeler Nation.
Okay.
I think the Cowboys do it. People
The
who are
Cowboys got that Mexico
yeah, people
fan.
who are lost in nostalgia, and don't the Raiders still have it,
Right.
because they don't know any better. There's there's some kid who got a shirt back in 2002 who thinks the Raiders beat thinks they beat the Bucks in the Super Bowl because
Right.
they send all those things. Yeah, you got to start sending them things to people who don't have internet because they
Yeah.
lied to me. I thought the Bills were the greatest team ever. They won 4 straight Super Bowls.
No, they won. They won 4 straight AFC championships. And that's probably when the TV cut off
Yeah,
that week.
yeah. So yeah, but I can foresee them trying to have an international Super Bowl because they are growing. Personally, I don't like the international game. If they're gonna do it, let them do it during the preseason when it doesn't count. Don't I mean I don't, and I know like the Saints are going over to Paris. They're gonna be the home team in Paris. The
Right.
visiting team haven't been decided yet, and there's 2 other new countries that they're going to this year. There are gonna be 9 games over in all this season, next season.
The
I just
NFL
don't like it.
greedy, boy. They so greedy.
9. Yeah. It's
They
like,
think
and I
they
know they're
want
trying to grow
they
it,
want
but
football.
yeah,
They want
but
football to be spelled with 2 O's.
yeah, and I get it from capitalism and all that, but I'm sorry. If they want to see the game, buy a damn satellite. Get the package on YouTube or something. Let us keep our game. I'm sorry. They can watch it, but we don't need to be going over there. And I know they're gonna eventually try to get a team. They're gonna try to get to expand to probably 2 or 4 teams based overseas. I know they're going to do it. They're going to aim for it, and I don't like that idea at all. I don't like the fact that you got to be traveling across globally to go and play a game because you really gonna need. You can't just fly overnight to get there. You're gonna need to be there for a week to get used to the time difference and everything else.
Yeah, that's
I
not even
don't.
boosted, man.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's a hard schedule.
Wait a minute, they 7 hours early ahead of us,
You
man.
probably would have to have nope. Like if you had a team,
Mm,
oh man.
yeah,
Like that how you gonna play Monday nights and ooh.
yeah, and your team is there all the way over there in Switzerland. Everybody's not flying over to Switzerland every week. You got to fly from Switzerland to damn California to play a game, and the next game is you got a home game again. You're gonna be losing some games because jet lag alone is gonna mess you up.
Thank God for NIL because now these kids can probably have already purchased their passports prior to getting in the league. Cause a lot of players
Yeah.
when them international games come around,
Yeah.
they don't have passports yet.
Yeah, they got to get it expedited
They
because
gotta
oh
get
man,
I've seen that so many times.
yeah,
Expedited passport for those
yeah.
guys. That is crazy. But before we go any further, let me make sure to follow and subscribe and watch us on YouTube right now, NOJASSSSHOW, as we move into um this first hour of the No Jazz Show. Find us on the locker room. You can find us on our No Jazz Show page. The link is on my page, DUPONTZNIVEK. Shout out to me. Live on Twitch, live on TikTok. And you can find us on Instagram, not live, but we are there. Hit us up at NOJASSHOW@gmail.com for all your comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. Let us know how we doing. Let us know what we doing. Moving right along, man. You posed this question. I'm just gonna say something about it. Why did you ask me about my feelings about football on Saturday? Like what triggered that? The Super Bowl on Saturday.
Super Bowl on Saturdays. Yeah, because it is the Super Bowl has become a national holiday, an unofficial national holiday, and it's played on Sunday. And I think that it should remain on Sunday. A lot of people say they wish it was on Saturday because after the Super Bowl party, this that, and the other, they don't want to get up and go to work the next day. I think what makes it special is the fact the game is played on Sunday. It's played on the NFL's day, and you get to go to work the next day. And depending on where you work or whatnot, there's the talk in the office for that day and possibly for the week. I think if it's on Saturday, which for people who get hungover or they're full or tired or whatever, hey, they got Sunday to recoup. But come Monday, they really aren't talking. They aren't going to be like, oh man, did you see the game 2 days ago?
Who came up with this hypothetical?
As far as moving it to Saturday.
Yeah,
I've seen over the years, I've seen people mention it, and some people just in general,
because of the Monday.
Yeah, because it's a Monday, but it's just like you generally don't have the national championship on football national championship on the weekend. It generally falls during the week on a weekday.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think hopefully it'll always be on Sunday. I think it makes it special that it's on Sunday, because otherwise you start flipping. If you move it to Saturday, or they could start flipping it around, be like, shoot, why not do it on the Thursday night? Why not do it on the Friday night? Why not do it on the Monday night? They watch the playoff game on Monday night and go to work the next on Tuesday. Hey, they can watch Super Bowl on Monday. But I think for ratings and for everything that goes into it, I think Sunday is the best time to have it, because you got Saturday to go out and get everything that you're going to get for your party and all that, and you got to prep for it. Then you got Sunday. If you do it on Saturday, it means you're rushing, or you have to have that stuff done during the week, because we know, especially for diehards, Super Bowl Sunday is all day. It's not just 30 minutes before the game starts. You're looking at all the pregame on NFL Network and whatever other network is carrying it. So I think Sunday is perfect for it. I don't believe that they should ever move it, but people complain, and the NFL will listen if they think that it's going to bring more money, and it'll also probably bring in more casuals, people who only watch the game.
Who's complaining? Them casual liberals?
Yeah, them casual folks. Casual, everybody complain.
They love coming in, because really what they're doing is they're probably complaining because they don't have anything to talk about on Monday.
Yeah.
Then nobody invite them to the party.
Yeah. You mentioned
cultural economics tells me that a Saturday Super Bowl, after it's been on Sunday all these years, will get shut down because of what you said. Like, I think the grocery chains, especially the beer companies, they're not going for that. I need you to have time to get that check on Friday, pour all that money on Saturday. Casuals, get your jerseys on Saturdays. I don't have time to do that because you're making it about Monday, but you're really not talking about how you're going to dig into the work week Wednesday and Thursday to beat the rush on Friday to be preparing yourself for Saturday. You're really talking about, if I'm going to the Super Bowl, I don't have to leave till after work Friday. I don't have to use my PTO. I can catch me a little red eye, late flight, half day Friday. Now you're talking about putting all that midweek. That's 2 days. See, cultural economics is going to shut that down.
Yeah.
I don't even see anybody even entertaining.
Yeah, but it comes up every year, man. It sure would be nice if it was on Saturday. I'm like, no, you're the ones who don't watch but maybe 3 games a year, and you're the ones who show up because it's the Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl party. That's why I was going to ask you earlier. You were talking about a Super Bowl party this week. Now, I'm one of those people. I don't like Super Bowl parties. Yeah, because I'm an elitist or I'm snobbish or whatever. But when I'm watching the game, I want to hear what the commentators are saying. I want to see. Okay, I thought I saw something. Now let's see. Okay, they saw. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, this is why he's off the field right now. Okay, he is hurt. Okay, this is what's going on. You go to Super Bowl parties, people got damn music going, people just yapping about what they did when they went on vacation 5 months ago and all this because most of those people are there, they're there because of the game, but they're not there because of the game, if you know what I
They're
mean.
there because it's a game.
Yeah, because
But
it's the
not
Super Bowl,
a
but they
game.
aren't there. But
Right.
if I asked you to come and watch a game with me last week or in week 7, I ain't concerned with that. But but man, if it's Super Bowl, I'm coming. I just can't because I've gone to a couple and there was so much so much of this going on, but they didn't have a damn thing to do with the game or nothing to do with football. And it was just, I'm like, I wanted to tell them I was in Dugans. I wanted to tell them, man, y'all shut up and pay attention to the game, but I can't do that. And I said, I'll never go to another one. I mean, they used to have one at the Omega House, Omega World Headquarters. They would have this big shindig. And I was like, I said, I can't do it. It's going to be a couple hundred people there. I'm not there to talk to anybody about anything other than the game. I don't want to hear that. I don't care how fine she is. You're going to have to wait till this game is over. Big Booty Judy, you got to wait till this game is over because I'm paying attention to the game. I just can't. It doesn't do anything for me. I just don't, like I said, it's just like fight parties. Some people don't care nothing about boxing, but they're going to show up if it's a title fight. They don't even know who the damn fighters are, but they show up because it's a title fight.
For real.
And after it's over, you never hear anything from their mouth again about boxing until the next title fight.
It's because we know, shout out to Cam Newton and his platonic friends. Because he knows that he's not getting calls from anybody until there's a Super Bowl party.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't go through that all the time. You had all 17 weeks, 18 weeks to go out here to me, to Hooters or whatever sports bar and watch the game. You never wanted to, but you called me Saturday night, Sunday morning talking about, it's a Super Bowl party. What y'all doing for the Super Bowl? And dude, take that date. He take that date. Now you introducing whomever to all these people you don't know. I mean, don't know her. She don't know, and she around mingling, network. Yeah, that's fight parties too. We might have to do a segment on parties, sports party. We might have to do that. Now, I'm gonna jump right quick.
Okay.
I want to get this in right quick since we were talking about fighting. That was a great segue into, and I got to get my man name right. Kingsley eBay. This is gonna be a short segment because everybody talking about Kingsley eBay knocking Jared Miller's toupee off. Like Buddy got beat and is more famous for losing.
Yeah. You didn't know his name before.
You didn't know his name. The toupee need an agent. Didn't even know his name before then. That is crazy, man.
We used to call him, get hit like that. Or like in football, you hit somebody, like, man, we call it peeling your wig or spitting your wig.
Hey, for real. Like, man, I'm gonna peel your cap. Literally.
Yeah. And why is he wearing that in the ring?
But he said the man told him he wasn't gonna come off.
I'm sure his corner people, some of them probably like, man, I didn't know he was bald. What are you doing with that now? You in there looking with your raccoon cap on, looking like Daniel Boone. Man, I thought it was AI when I first saw it.
I'm gonna tell you this because this was my question. The craziest situation you've ever seen in a boxing match. I think he might have number one, but
I got two.
I have two.
I got two. Yeah.
Your two probably my two. But you go ahead.
The first is the obvious, and it happens more than you know, but this was on the big stage. When Mike Tyson decided to take a chunk out of Holyfield's ear.
Absolutely. That's number one.
And the other one was the fan man parachuting in during Holyfield's fight with, who was that, Riddick Bowe.
And the fan man got blasted. The fan man got blasted.
I'm like, Holyfield probably looking at that dude get his toupee knocked off and probably saying, okay, now somebody else has the number one most unusual thing that ever happened
Most
in the ring.
unusual. I mean,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah,
that was quite unusual. But yeah, though he if there's a top, he cracked the top 3. But
Yeah.
those 2 are mine too, man. That was the craziest thing I have ever seen in a fight.
Maybe we can send him one of the gazillion
Yeah.
weaves.
As a matter of fact, they changed their name midweek. He needs some gazillion Brazilian, but it's Bliss Brazilian.
Yeah.
Bliss
You need
Brazilian
that. You
for
need
you.
that and some Gorilla Glue.
Matter of fact, we put that ad right in on this, but you need and some. Cause boy, man, that was crazy. And you know, and on a serious note, shout out to Shakur Stevenson for winning his fight as he takes his place. You know, moving along in the higher echelon of boxing now that Crawford is retired. Unless the money get right, but you know, shout out to Shakur. You know, we hate that his win gets blanketed. You know what I'm saying, or should I say carpeted?
Yeah.
By Mr. Jared Miller.
But
I'm
he
telling you,
got
boy,
Miller has his time. Miller now has his immortal moment. He's gonna
he
live in boxing
does.
infamy forever.
He really does. But is
Yeah.
there
There's an official Hall of Fame, and then it needs to be. That wig needs to be in there.
we need to go ahead and put that on in there, man. We need to put that picture in there with the actual toupee
With the wig, yeah.
or the wig or whatever that is, man. Because
Last thing on that, if they find out what kind of adhesive they use, that word
yeah,
gets out or what it was, whatever adhesive it was that was holding the thing down like that and didn't do its job, they stock just went all the way down.
they start went all the way down. You were right with that Gorilla Glue. To all the ladies that use Bliss Brazilian, whatever Miller used, don't do it. I hate for you to be on a Ferris wheel on a ride at the and you
Be on
wig.
that sling.
Man. And that was the crazy part about that last one. That it didn't just fall off like the hood came up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Somebody opened the sunroof.
yeah, somebody opened the sunroof. That is crazy, man. That is some crazy man. That is crazy. Shout out to us. You know, just a little, you know, fun moment that we didn't want to stay to the end. Now I want to go back to sports, you know, on a more serious note. I don't want to miss out on nothing. We're gonna go back to this omission.
Okay.
Here are the finalists. I'm gonna go ahead and name them. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Frank Gore, Jason Witten, Luke Kuechly, Terrell Suggs, Adam Vinatieri. Now that's one I want to play with a little bit. And Marshall. Oh, he must be an old time guy. Marshall Yonda.
Marshall Young. No, he's a Ravens offensive lineman.
Okay. Yeah. My bad. Who do you think will be announced Saturday?
So I got Breeze. I got Fitz. I think Marsha Yonda gets in, and I also think it's crazy, but I don't think that he is one. But I think that Frank Gore gets in, and what's his name? I know from the senior committee, I think that it's gonna be, yeah, that's who I got. Then the senior committee, LC Greenwood, Roger Craig, and Ken Anderson. Any of those 3 that don't get in, any of those 2 that don't get in out of the 3,
Out of the senior committee?
yeah, still it'll be an omission. I think they're all gonna get in eventually. But
That Roger Craig and LC Greenwood, like that's
yeah,
those are
I
names
think that
already in there.
I think Greenwood is gonna finally get in. I think this is his last chance. But only thing I don't like about it, if he does get in, gets in good, but at the same time, I just don't like posthumous inductions.
Yeah.
LC, you in? LC, you in Hall of Fame? He don't know.
But the speech gonna be like his people gonna be the Greenwood gonna be like, I know Daddy looking out from above. You know.
Yeah. And he looking from above. He was saying, "What took y'all so damn long?" No, but I think that
it took you so damn long for real.
Yeah, we'll do it another time. But I can make my argument for Craig to get in. It's the same as my argument for Craig not to get in.
Which is
the main thing that will push him over, really, for me, would be that he's got 3 rings.
Okay.
Roger Craig has 3 1,000-yard seasons, 1,500 yards, 1,078, and another one that might have been 1,300, I think. He's got 3,000-yard seasons. Of course, he's got the 1,000. He never led the league in rushing.
He wasn't,
He never,
though.
huh?
He wasn't.
Yeah, and he didn't. So I look at that. He averaged, what was it? I think it's like 62 yards gain in his career, which if you got a running back giving you 62 yards every week, you're looking for another running. And if I'm not mistaken, it might have been 55 points, 55.8 yards per game might be his average. It's one of those two. He never put up he never put up numbers that you said, man, but he's one of those, his numbers is the main thing that I hold against him because he wasn't dominant numbers wise. But at the same time, when you look at him, you say, man, that dude's special. But his production overall, his numbers doesn't say he was special. It's 1,000 is what's that, and those 3 Super Bowls is what's going to put him over. Because he doesn't have a high tally of touchdowns either. He doesn't. I
There's
mean,
going to be a question coming up later, and I know who's not your running back. I almost feel like you, Ricky, better than him.
Ricky Williams.
Ricky Waters.
I don't think Ricky's a Hall of Famer. Let's put that out there. But I think that Ricky was an improvement of Craig as far as things he could do. He didn't put up the same type of. I think he was an improvement. Yeah,
Right.
he was an improvement over Craig, which is what you want. It's somebody in there. You want somebody who can do what Craig did or do things better. He was more. He put up more yards rushing. Craig has 8,000 yards rushing over 13 years. He's got 5,000 receiving. So I mean, it's not like he was putting up huge numbers. He's not even the first or second best back in his era. That's Dickerson and Peyton, and then it was somebody else in there, but he's not that. He's not number 1 or 2. He's not everything about.
When you said that, and I'm not saying he was going to be as good as Dickerson and Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of them was sharing, especially Peyton. Neither one of them was sharing offensive touches with Jerry Rice.
Yeah, but he was there for some years before Jerry got there. Again, like I said, all those. Yeah, he was there with Freddie Solomon. And he did, and I will give him this. He was the fullback for the first couple of years.
University of Tampa.
Yeah. And he was the fullback for the first couple of years. Then they moved him to tailback after they got rid of Wendell Tyler. But still, when you look, his overall numbers are not where you would say he's one of the best to ever play. Because, when I look at guys in the Hall of Fame, who's good in the Hall of Fame, I don't compare their numbers to guys that came after them. I compare their numbers to who played who played in their era and where their numbers ranked at the time of their retirement. Because practically every receiver who's come along and played 10 years in the 90s has better yardage than most guys that played prior to that, because the passing game, it really started lighting up. So you can't. I'm not going to compare his numbers to Adrian Peterson's numbers, because Adrian came a whole lot different a long time after.
A whole lot different.
And so I look at I would stack him up against the players that retired when he did and who came before him. But when I look at his overall numbers, when you break them down, they're not impressive. Yet he was impressive when he was on the field, the things that he did.
And we do hold that to a higher standard, because if he wasn't impressive during the playoffs and the Super Bowl,
yeah, and his playoff numbers, average yards per carry, average yards per game, they went down a little.
All your food delivery needs, make sure you go to Light Snack. That's LYTE snack.com. And make sure for all your deliveries, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you visit Light Snack and they'll deliver it right to your door. And make sure when you get those deliveries, make sure you're ordering those Magic City wings. And remember, their motto, don't forget to lick the sauce. Oh, okay.
And, you got for me, in the playoffs is when your numbers need to elevate. But like I said, all that being said, if he gets in, I don't have a problem with it. Because like I said, I could use that same argument. For me, the same thing that he did could be used for him or against him.
Yes, right.
So, I mean, but I think that Greenwood or Craig is going to get in. I don't think.
So you think so Greenwood and Craig are like the big schmoove of the NFL. My man, they got like 8 NBA.
Yeah.
They kind of was like integral parts, but not really.
Yeah, not key. When you think about the steel curtain, the defensive line, you think Mean Joe Green. Then you say LC Greenwood. Because the LC, and this wasn't an official stat back then. So, but LC, and we put a whole lot of prestige on sack numbers. LC didn't have a lot of sacks. He had one double digit. No, that's Dwight White. Dwight White had a double digit sack season before they went to the Super Bowl. I don't think LC ever had a double digit sack. I think that LC might not get in because there'll be some still a backlash because, man, we got half the team in already from the 7. So I think Craig will be in. If he doesn't make it, it's gonna be Kenny Anderson.
And just to put it in perspective, because I have to, Harvey Martin nor Ed Too Tall Jones are in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Like Andy White here. There are teams where you work for that team and you benefited, and we're gonna hold you high regard franchise. We call that the Hall of Very Good. We call that Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
LC Greenwood might fall in that category. Roger Craig might fall in that category. Mm-hmm. Frank Gore, I'm gonna hope you get in because you already know why. I'm biased. And I hope they look at the whole knee surgery since freshman year and you did what you did story. However, even saying all that, I got to be fair. The history of the NFL can't be written without you. Football, glory, absolutely. Larry, come on now.
He
in there.
This man had more tackles than he had drops in his career. That's all they needed. That's all they need to be said.
Right. Drew Brees is kind of, I won't say unless he takes off, unless Darnold just takes off. But he's having a Drew Brees moment. Sam Darnold is having a Drew Brees moment because, Phillip Rivers got Brees out of San Diego, and then he went to Saints and just went crazy. I do believe Drew Brees gets it in because his numbers and where he was stacking up against everybody.
It's crazy. It's crazy now, though. Unless you're a diehard Saints fan, nobody brings up Drew Brees' name as being the best to ever play. I mean, but remember one time he had numbers that said, okay, he's the best to ever do it. But now, I mean, Peyton passed him. Of course, Brady passed him, and you got some other guys. But I don't ever recall hearing Brees called the best in the league. One of the very best, yes.
That era was just stacked.
It was like, dang, man.
That era was stacked.
Yeah, you can't fault guys who didn't get that acclaim or who didn't become the best because hell, it's like it's lighter on division than boxing. Hell, everybody in there was a damn champ, a legit champ. Everybody who was number 1, 2, or 3 contender was a damn legitimate guy,
This is not me saying because NFL and the media write stories, right? They write stories. And I'm going to say this first before I get to that. It's crazy how they don't, from a New Orleans Saints lure, when you say quarterback, they still going to Archie Manning first for some odd reason, and it should be Drew Brees. But in that era from what we're talking about, let me tell you, and shout out, because this is not me saying he wasn't a dog. He was a dog. Colston was a dog. But the problem is, in that era, Drew didn't have his tandem guy. Because you going up against Big Ben, and I believe Big Ben's tandem guy is probably going to be Antonio. Peyton's tandem guy, Hines Ward. Peyton's tandem guy, of course, is going to be Harrison and Reggie Wayne. Phillip Rivers in there, but he didn't have a tandem guy.
Gates. Well, it'd be Gates.
Antonio Gates. It'd be absolutely. It'd be Antonio Gates. Like even Gonzalez, who caught all them balls, just didn't do it at long enough time. Who am I missing? It was some quarterbacks.
Brady. was playing in.
And
Well, so
Brady got one tandem season, but
yeah,
Brady, you can go Brady Moss, you can go Brady Gronk, you can go Brady, you can
Edelman.
Edelman.
Who else? There was somebody playing it. I want to say who was playing in Denver. No, but the Brees he had for a little while. He had Reggie Graham. I mean, what's the name? The tight end from Jimmy Graham. He had
Yeah,
Jimmy
Jimmy
Graham
Graham.
for a minute. Yeah,
I said Gonzalez, Jimmy Graham.
yeah,
Yeah, see,
yeah.
Jimmy Graham
But
didn't Jimmy and Colston didn't have enough something.
yeah,
Maybe it was the Saints, but you never like they weren't breaking records or anything to make you. Oh, all the numbers he had was with a lot of it was with those guys balling.
yeah. But he's gonna get. He should be in though. I do
I think he
believe
should
he's gonna
be
get in.
in.
Yeah.
Omitted. I have to wait and see how because I know in the back of my mind I just don't want to say it. Now what'd be funny? What will be funny is if Adam Vinatieri get in.
I could see that. I could see Vinatieri getting in because I could see Vinatieri and Yonda. Vinatieri is the one I left off. I couldn't remember the other name, but I would say Vinatieri because of what he did as far as particularly postseason,
Absolutely.
and he's got rings. What he did in the postseason, and he at one time was the most accurate kicker in NFL history.
Absolutely.
And I think Marsha Yonda is going to get in because he was very good offensive lineman, and also they want to show some love to the big
We need to
Yonda.
move into that. We need to move into that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Those buses in there, they're gonna need somebody to block for. We're gonna get the people with buses. We're gonna get to that later. Now, before I go on, we are live on YouTube at NOJASSSHOW. You can find us live on Twitch, GMP Media Group, live in the locker room, live on Russell Tanker's page. That's 2 S's, 2 L's. Live link on my page, DUPONTZNIVEK. Live on the Facebook page of No Jazz Show with that link. So join us if you aren't joining us, because I'm moving into this second and final run, and I saved this one. I think we didn't hit everything we're gonna hit, with the exception of that last part. Hold on. That might be something. You know what? Before I get there, because I know that there's gonna be a bulk Black History Month. That's why I'm kind of saving it. But we going into that because I want to talk about it, especially with NIL. And I'm not talking about NIL. We're gonna just linger on it for a little bit. Odell Beckham Jr. got a cosign from Le'Veon Bell saying $100 million is not enough to live off of. Is he saying after you retire, or I want the context right?
I think he means overall, like that's what you make, and that's not enough to live on while you're playing and after you're playing. I think he's talking about for a lifetime.
All right. Now, to put it in the context, I'm gonna tell you something. I like Le'Veon. I love this style. I love this play. I like that little bit that OBJ gave us. You know, I'm even throw Antonio in there. And I'm gonna say this. Y'all gotta look at who's saying this. What I don't do is I always put KD with $100 million or $1 billion. I'm gonna just say 100 million since we're talking about 100 million. But I always look at KD with $100 million at the age of 20. Now I grew up around father figures, uncles, my dad. You know, I had men around me. I don't necessarily, you know, I'm not rich. I'm not financially illiterate either. But I know some people who didn't even have the education that I had. So what I try to do is when people say stuff like this, I look at me before I come off like I'm judging, and I say 100 million between KD and 100 million between the age of 20 and 25. And I'm saying this, and shout out to Ludacris. I ain't got holes in different area codes. So I'm not saying I agree with what they saying. I'm just saying from the age of 20 to 25, when you ripping and running like that, you're going to say 100 million is not enough money for you. That's gonna be your mentality, bro. Like them boys were getting it. They were riding around getting it.
Yeah, but and also you got to realize that 100 million is after taxes and agent fees is more like 42 million.
Right.
So so the 100 million is what on paper. This is your contract. This is how much you've made. But that 42 million is what you just going into your pocket. And Le'Veon said that, hey, he said, I admit I was and am bad with money. So $100 million is not enough for me. and that's him at age 33, and what Odell is 31, 32, and they're saying it. So for me in my 20s and also in my 30s, I definitely would disagree with that. In my 20s, I think because of my dad's a real estate guy, was a real estate broker. So he would have gotten part of that and be like, hey, you're going to invest this in this, that, and the third. My uncle, who was his brother, was a CPA. And, so that's who I would have had handling to make sure my taxes are paid. And he was a CPA. He also was a stockbroker with Merrill Lynch. So he would have had something to do with taking care of. So I don't think, and I'm simple in the aspect. My biggest purchase, truthfully, as far as just something to blow money on, would have been my dream car, would have been a Corvette. Then I would have gotten a house. I wouldn't have gotten something that had 500 rooms and
Hold on now.
take care of some folks. But I don't think that
What year you would have got?
I say graduating from college, I would have got it in 91.
I'm trying to think of that 1991 shape. Let me
At 20, I would at 21, I would have gotten it. It would have been 1991.
Let me get. I think I know which one it is.
Yeah, the ZR1. So
1991 Corvette. Hey man. So what you're saying is, hold on, you got the T-top? Okay.
Fully loaded. It was all the whistles.
You had hair then? Had a high top? I'm not saying you were gonna be bad with money. I totally agree. You're gonna do right by it. But that Corvette in 1991, come on now, you'd have had 3 more than you needed. You'd have had them. So just like Bill Cosby did on that episode, are you gonna have a girlfriend? And he took the rest of the money.
Yeah, but
you're gonna have a situation with the vet. You gonna have a situation with the vet.
Yeah, with the support group that I have, as far as my dad, my uncle, and also my mother, as far as how she is, and also my boys, who I'm still friends with today, they would have kept me. They would have kept me from.
They had to come on, dogs. Come on, dog.
Yeah.
Can't be doing that.
Yeah, they would have been like, man, come on, because that's that money that you make. That's the money that got to last your lifetime. That's what they're talking about. They won't last a lifetime. Right. So they would be like, they would tell me, man, you don't need to be spending all that. You don't know, because that depends on the type of support group that you have, the people you hang around, the people you listen to, those folks, because they're gonna be there. You're gonna have your crew. You're gonna have they want to call it entourage. For me, it will be those same 4 guys, with those same 3 guys. So I wouldn't all of a sudden have a whole bunch of people around me.
And see, this is what we're saying. 1991 Corvette ZR1s, 2001 Corvette ZR1s, 2011 Corvette ZR1s, 2021 Corvette ZR1s is why Cam Newton says he cannot have platonic friends. Like, you are not going to have platonic friends with Corvettes.
Yeah, you gotta.
They gonna be, your friend is not trying to say, hey, Tank. Your female friend is not trying to say, hey, Tank, let's just go get some brews on me. No, she ain't saying that.
Yeah.
And the default settings are going to switch on in the bucket.
Some things gonna happen. Yeah,
some things gonna happen.
So I just don't think
stop calling that man a Neanderthal man because he said what he said. It's the truth.
Yeah, that 42 million. That's
42.
Yeah, that 42 is, to be honest, it's not enough. You have to live a lifestyle below your means, really. Because you think about it, they're in their early 30s. Their career's over. If everything goes right, and they live the average life expectancy, they got another 43 years to live.
That's why that guy took Allen Iverson money. Shout out to the only AI I know. Him and Andre Iguodala. But that's what we saying. Like, man, hey, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a 50 plus, 40 plus, 35 plus year old man to be judging what these 30-something year old men saying who live these lives in your 20s. But you got to think about who you would have been with that type of money.
Yeah.
I know some jokers had 40,000.
Yeah. I remember hearing Ryan Stewart, he was talking one time, this was years ago, he was saying, he only played, I think, 5 years, but he was saying the money that you make, and he said the guy, one of the veterans told him, "Look, you don't know how long your career is going to be, but this money that you're making, you need to do something, you need to be smart with it. Because ideally, you'll play longer and you make more money. But the money you're making now and the money for whenever your contract is up and whenever you stop playing, that's supposed to last you for the next 30, 40 some years, or it's supposed to springboard you to put you in position to be okay for the next 30, 40 years. Think about it.
Came out changing
Regular
your
people,
family life.
yeah, we think about it. For us regular people, you reach your peak production as far as your income and whatnot is coming in when you're in your 50s.
Really,
As an athlete, you're in your early 30s for the best of them. I'm not talking about for the average ones, but their career is only a few years. But for the best of them, in your mid 30s, it's over. It's time for you to get on with your life's work.
That final contract is around 20, 28.
Yeah. So then it's time for you to get on with your life's work, and the lifestyle that you've been living, you want to be able to keep it up, but you aren't making that kind of money anymore. And you got other life's responsibilities coming in. And heaven forbid, you've been one of them. You've been doing the Dwight Howard and putting babies in every area code.
For real?
So yeah, that's
Carol.
Yeah, it's not enough if you aren't financially fiscal with it, and you not living really below your means, because you realize, hey, I won't be making this kind of money anymore, and this is gonna have to last me, because if I don't get a job in the media, I'm not, or I'm not gonna be making that kind of money.
Invest in a car lot or a strip mall or a restaurant and get a job in the media to keep my name famous for people to come want to. I'm gonna be lost in the sauce. Now. This is not us, because there are some winners. We just talking about what these young men said. High level, famous, made $100 million, and just like Prime said, your football career is the blink of an eye. We talking about 21, the best. About 29, 30. You lucky your body was good to get you 33, 34.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be, and I'm gonna go back to your example. 1991, because you could tell this touched me, this platonic relationship thing. 1991, when Tank riding around in his ZR1, the ladies was still laying their hair down with pre-con gel and Lee press-on nails. $10.
Mm-hmm.
A hairdo, top end, even in the Jericho era, through them wearing the natural, getting the roll, 85, 65.
Mm-hmm.
The economy wasn't. Now they meet you within 48 hours. You got it. Well, I need this such and such, 300.
Mm-hmm. I want to get my nails done. That's another 200.
Well, you got it. Or you broke. So these dudes are meeting these types of women and doing that to get them to get on out the way. So I'm just telling you, that's what that man, and basically what they got to do is, before they even get their financial structure correct, they gotta dead that beast inside of them, and that's still 30. You still heavy at 30. You heavy. You don't really think you trying to slow that beast down till you about 45. Let's be real. And they got them good pills out there too. And them packs. That's why that man said what he said about that. I keep going back. That's why that man said what he said about that platonic relationship.
Yeah. And you have to think about generally the lifestyle and the lanes they travel, as opposed to us traveling in the lanes that we travel in, even if we with that kind of money. We aren't doing the same thing.
We aren't doing the same thing.
No, we have to do something to let you know, I got 40 million. We got to do something to let you know it, as opposed to them.
Right.
Every time they get a contract, it's all over the news. Those women know. They know who the center is.
Let's look at the structure. Let's look at the structure and the hierarchy of how this goes. Every football player ain't 6'5" or better. So you get in the club. Oh, I know he playing the NBA. You off height on. Now you might be in the gym and you fit because you got them doctors taking care of you and you in that fit. But the helmet guy in the club go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
When he take that helmet off and they don't know you famous, you got the jewelry like the dope boy. And you ain't as tall as the NBA player. So guess what you gonna do? You throwing money. Ain't nothing platonic about that, because your platonic friend is the girl you with friends saying, "Oh, I know you got us."
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
You gonna buy us? You gonna buy us some rounds?
Right, right. And then you got to take care of all them tomboys. And I ain't talking about tomboy. I said Tom. That's TAWM. That stands for they all with me.
Mhm.
Oh, you getting everybody in? Oh man, hey, you gotta shut all that. Hey man, you gotta shut that down. You gotta shut it down. You gotta shut it down. Absolutely. So I wish
You
my
gotta
boys
look at it
the
from a
best.
different. You gotta look
Yeah,
at it from a
gotta
different
look at it from a different
perspective.
perspective, man. I'm not knocking. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And yes, you should be able to. I pray for y'all because it will be kind of crazy to sit up here and say, if you had $100 million, you can't live with $100 million. Of course, that's silly to have somebody say that. But look at the perspective, boy. Them boys 20 years old, been living that life, and you been carefree all your man. Shoot,
Mhm.
all out here for a pimp. Now, let's get to it, because I know this is gonna be the bulk, the super duper bulk. Black History Month. It's gonna be some talk. And everybody always have a lot to say. A lot of people might not like my perspective of this, but it's gonna be the truth. It's gonna be a truth. I ain't gonna say the truth, it's gonna be a truth. A lot of hiring across the NFL. Head coaches, always a big story. Me personally, I'm on the upper echelon of GM ownership. But
Mhm.
coaches is still the story. So we're gonna talk about it. Of all those vacancies in the NFL, none of them went to black coaches. Am I correct?
Salah he's I guess he'd be other. I think he's mid eastern.
Okay.
He's not white,
He's an
but
outlier.
yeah. So that's Salah, but he's not but I don't think he's considered
Where
to
he
be
coaching
black.
at?
The Tennessee Titans head coach.
So he took the place of the outlier that was in Miami. I need y'all to watch that. So that's the only one technically close.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But we need some melanin. And it's been a lot of backlash. NFL ain't gonna lose nobody because of it. Y'all can say what you want. You're gonna watch the game Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, call Kaepernick name out all you want to. You're gonna watch the game Sunday. And you know y'all. Stop it. Do you think that is a big deal as far as the NFL not hiring and still having these issues? Because I know SAS gonna bring it up with hiring of black coaches.
I think it's an issue simply because not just because of the 75% of the players are black, but of all the coaches all the coaches in the NFL and in college, because you get coaches from college too. Are you telling me that not a single one impressed you enough to offer them a position? Because there's got to be one. So I think that's an issue. But I also feel this way. A lot of these jobs that were open, the Raiders, the Jets, really the Titans, and the Cleveland Browns, those are like the armpits of the NFL. They aren't good jobs.
Anyway,
You go there and I'm willing to guarantee you all of those coaches are going to be gone within 5 years. They're going to get fired because they didn't win enough. And, of course, everybody don't get fired when they don't win enough. But those franchises burn through coaches and nobody wins there. It's a wasteland. But my thing is this. Yes, I think there should be more, but you don't want to just get a job as a head coach. You want to get the right job with the right organization. Otherwise, you end up like Salah, who went to the Jets, which was a bad job, and he's gone in 2 years? Raheem Morris,
shout out to
gone
Raheem,
in
coordinator.
2 years. He's a
Yeah,
coordinator now. You look at the Jets, Aaron Glenn, if he's not gone at the end of next season, I don't think he makes it through year 3. Cleveland is Cleveland. Stefanski did a heck of a job to stay there 6 years. But these are places that you don't win. Up in Detroit, they've been terrible forever, and then they got and Campbell got there, and he's won some games. I think Campbell is possibly going to be gone within 2 years if the Lions aren't back in the playoffs and threatening to win the Super Bowl. My point is, you don't just want to take a job because it's open. You want to take a job that is going to fit you, the organization, the makeup of the team, what's there, how are you going to get along with the GM? What's the GM's philosophy on helping build a team and spending money? What's the owner's philosophy on building a team and spending money, and how involved is he? Is he going to let you coach, or is he going to be Jerry Jones? You got to look at that.
I would never take the Cowboys.
Yeah. And you got to look at, yeah, right. And if this team, if you're the fifth coach in 6 years, what does that tell you about the turnover and the stability of that organization? You don't want to just take a job because it's there. So I think for some of these coaches that they had interviews and didn't get it, looking at the positions that were open, I think it was good that they didn't get it, because I mean the Steelers' job would have been good, but they went with McCarthy. They went with a safe hire. I would have preferred somebody else. And these other coaches who have gotten hired, a lot of them are young and innovative, and which is what you want, period. They just happen to be palm colored. I'm not upset the fact that none were hired, because they didn't hire a whole bunch of retreads.
And the teams what Tank's saying is the teams this year are not even worth the argument of race, because they weren't organizations where, yeah, you might turn it around, but if you don't, they're not the fits to have this argument. You know what I'm saying?
They pulled the trigger too quick.
Requirements of teams where you need to even be thinking about being a black coach anyway, and that has nothing to do with race. Is market, fan base. You got to play. You got to smart about it.
Yeah, the teams that would have been good for anybody to take, the Steelers, because of the way the organization is made, not because of what's on the field, because the talent needs to be severely upgraded. The Giants would have been good. You can't fault the Giants for getting Harbaugh. Harbaugh's a good and proven coach. Yeah, Buffalo would have been good. But hey, they went on here and they promoted the OC. You can't really fault them for being safe and taking somebody who already knew.
Yeah. That's just what they do. I'm gonna tell you, people that have jobs, D'Amico Ryan, that's his name in Houston, white or black. And I'm not manifesting anything bad on him, but the NFL goes like this. D'Amico Ryan is on thin ice, treading lightly with that. Hey man, we like what you're doing, but you can't get us over the hump.
Right.
You keep playing like that for 2 years, black or white, they're going to get rid of you. Like that's just people like Raheem don't get that chance. Thank goodness, D'Amico, but they look for you to, Tank and I had this kind of back and forth, and I was saying that all of that, they give you those years and you look like you're gonna get over the hump, and then you do this. A lot of teams don't give you that time.
You get hired to get fired.
You get hired to get fired. Arguing the black coach narrative is cool, but a lot of those jobs you don't want that dude in. You don't want to be playing around with that. You don't want to be playing around.
And one more thing, this does go to race, but it's also what happens in the animal kingdom. All the owners are white. People in general tend to flock to and be around and gravitate towards those who they have things in common with. First, who look like them.
Hiring affinity.
I mean, you feel more comfortable because this person looks like me. You might not know anything about them, but because they look like you, so you feel a little more comfortable. And also, hey, those NFL is a private industry. Those teams are privately owned. Like it, don't like it. It's my team. I can hire whoever I want to. I mean, it comes down to I can hire who I want to. I don't have to shuck and jive and go through the Rooney Rule if I already know that, hey, I want Jim Harbaugh to coach Jackson Dart. Why am I going to bring you in and waste your time when I know my mind was made up as soon as Harbaugh was available?
Right.
I mean, and granted, you can bring someone in and they say, okay, wait a minute, this person won me over, and it happens. It happened with Pittsburgh when they got Tomlin. But, I mean, that's just the way it is. My uncle, I remember when I was interviewing with Merrill Lynch. This was a long time ago. He told me, he said, we deal with the people who make in the top percent in salary wise, income wise. They have 7 figures to invest. We don't deal with people who got $10,000. He said you will have to be comfortable with and be able to get them comfortable with looking at you and saying, hey, you aren't like me, but I trust you and I believe that you can flip my money.
Wouldn't be able to tell that great joke.
Yeah. You have to, he said, you have to make them comfortable. They have to be comfortable with you to give you 7 figures to invest. They're used to giving their money to Chet. He's a nice guy. He went to Harvard Business School and he did this. I don't have any problem giving him my money. But Tyrone went to Tuskegee. I don't know if he can do this, and he don't look like me. Why should I trust Tyrone? You got to be able to break through that so that they are comfortable enough giving you that kind of reign over their most valuable asset, which is their money. That's the same way the owners are.
The money and the signage up in your stadium.
Yeah, yeah. It's just human nature. You don't see dogs hanging out with cats being buddy. You don't see the same bird. You don't see different breeds of birds hanging out together. They don't, and that's that's how owners are.
We're in 2026. We shouldn't be. Boy, please.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we shouldn't be, but we still are.
Boy, please.
It's just a fact. Just like if we say, hey, we want to have more black head coaches, but why do you want to have more black head coaches? Just because you want to see representation does matter. But is it just do you want to have a black coach to have a black coach, or do you want to get the right coach in the right position to succeed? Because if he's there and gone in 2 or 3 years, nothing happens. You didn't do it. You want somebody who gets there and is going to be there for some years and is going to win. Who's going to really have an impact. Now, that being said, I do think that if Flores wasn't going to get hired because he got a lawsuit against the NFL.
Yeah.
That's what everybody was thinking Flores. The enemy is now going to be to hit the OC back in KC because Matt Nagy left to go to, I can't remember where he just went, to be their OC. The enemy has had opportunities, but for whatever reason, he hadn't gotten a gig. Some say it's because the way he grinds on players. Others say he doesn't interview well. Others say, well, we haven't seen him do anything outside of Andy Reid. Because remember, the enemy was the running back coach with the Bears last season. So, I think his window is closed. But what black coaches are out there that do you want to see as head coaches?
Leftwich just left the building.
Yeah, he's in Colorado. I think Leftwich would have an opportunity. His opportunity might come next season because it was a bunch of dumpster fire jobs this year.
Just a bunch of dumpster fire jobs.
I believe it's going to happen.
I'm going to touch on something that is Black History Month, and this is not the truth. This is just a truth. Let me give you the names. Current Kyle Shanahan, son of Brian Callahan, son of
Scott
Bill. Brian Schottenheimer, son of
Marty.
Now let's go down the line, because this is the current. Let's go down the line. Stephen Belichick.
We already Bill.
We know it's up in the Super Bowl Sunday. Pete Carroll had his son Brennan. Jim Mora, we talking about historically now. Jim Mora, son of Jim. Of course, Mike Shula. Everybody know the Ryan boys, right? So my thing is, generationally.
You left one out.
Who?
Clay Kubiak.
Clay Kubiak. Kubiak was a head coach too, right?
His dad
was a head coach. So what I'm saying is something is going on in the NFL where, God rest, because I'm gonna say this, but I forgot the oldest boy, but I'm just using names. I'm using names. But we're in an era where why aren't we seeing Dungy's son? Why aren't we seeing Herm Edwards' son? Why aren't we seeing Lovie Smith's son? Why didn't we ever see Art Shell's son? Why didn't we ever see Edwards, Dennis
Green
son? Why didn't we ever see that? See, that's where the change needed. That's where the change needs to be. Why is the chain of son to father so white? Y'all talking about black coaches, but something in the NFL is telling black coaches who've been black coaches, nah, son, I'm cool on you trying to make this a career. Like, it's something going on with that. Who am I missing from that era? Quarterback, he was quarterback coach for the Bucks. And
Gruden.
Caldwell.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if he got a son, but Jim Caldwell's son. Is Coach Mike Tomlin's son, does he aspire to be a coach, head coach in the NFL? That's really where the tension lies to me. We've covered the basis of 2026 of them not being good teams to hire for. I can get all of that. Somebody need to let me know, why are these breakthrough black coaches who've been there, and this breakthrough came 30, 40 years ago, we ain't
raising your sons up.
Raising your sons up. What is the NFL doing to these coaches, to these black coaches, where they saying, nah, you don't want this. We're going to cut it off right here. Where white counterparts, let's be clear, John and Jay had a daddy that was on the Bucks, in the Bucks organization. Like, this happens. This is nothing new. So I want to understand, where's that trend when you start talking about black coaches? Because the NFL should be at an area where, we're going to play this fraternity, not just for white, but we're going to play this fraternity for family. And we got all this group of black guys who had these sons, and we're going to hire internally because we know them, because we knew their fathers. What happened to that? Do we need to go back? Do we need to go back to the 60s and the 70s when we had predominantly black schools and blacks was in black leadership positions, administrative and coaches? No, but they got shipped off to the HBCU area. You know, and HBCU coaches never ascended. You know, like, are you trying to say there's not any black leadership to the young men out there? To the young men out there, are you seeing the Raheem Morrises like you see Mike T, or like you put Mike T through? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're not a pompous, hot-headed, young, rich black man, but there's still some level of respect you need to have for that black male as a coach. Shout out to Prime, who gets that from his players. I'm gonna give him credit for that. But I need to. I guarantee if you sit down with Prime, there's something that he can tell you. And I don't want to speak nothing on you, Coach Prime, because I really don't know, you haven't talked to me about it. But there's a strong possibility he sees something at that level that makes him say, nah, I can't be messing with them boys. They ain't finna be trying me like that on that level. So what are you doing? What are you doing as young black athletes that is not giving these black coaches the example of the leadership that these corporate white men who are hiring out of these affinity groups that are saying, hey, I can't get the type of leadership I want because y'all ain't making the black man the leader. Y'all making the black man the friend, because the black man have to coach you like a friend because you looking at him as your equal and not your coach, like y'all on the equal branch. I mean, and don't get me right, y'all do that to white coaches too. It's happening down there. It's happening in Frisco because y'all go over the coach's head to go talk to the owner.
Yeah.
And even the white coaches on certain teams can't even get no discipline out of y'all. And I'm saying y'all because guess what? Just like Tank said, it's 70%, 75% black. So what are you all not doing that is allowing these guys to look at y'all and say, no, I just don't feel comfortable from a leadership standpoint that they can nurture these kids into professional men as head coaches? Because, like I said, there's a reason why Art Shell became a head coach 1989.
89, 88, yeah. And it also comes with owners who are comfortable doing it. Al Davis didn't care what color you were. He's like, hey, Al Davis' motto, and he lived by it, just win, baby.
Just win. And he's still, even Al, in hiring that black coach in Art Shell, was fraternal. That was an internal hire. That's my family. So I'm not saying that these white owners, even with their white corporate people that they got to answer to, aren't open to it, because there's still that area where, nah, if I'm gonna hire somebody black, I'm not going outside of my family. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Well, I also think along with that, and this is my last point, I think that we need to have more there need to be more of us striving to become offensive coordinators and quarterback coaches because the game and all the emphasis is on offense now. But
Right.
you need it. So, hey, are you a quarterbacks coach? Okay, can you develop quarterbacks? Because you can develop my franchise quarterback. I can trust you as being my head coach. Or if you're an offensive coordinator, okay, I can trust you to develop this offense and develop my quarterback, and you can just get somebody and you can get a higher good defensive coordinator.
Count them out.
But
Count them out, Tank. Great point. Count them out. Count them out. Art Shell, offensive line. Right?
Offensive line.
Next time you got a black head coach. Was it Dennis Green?
Dennis Green was an offensive guy.
Offensive guy coming out of San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still talking about this happened in a defense win championships.
Yeah.
Running game error.
But you also
next one after that was Tony.
Tony was defensive guy, but also you had Ray Rhodes, who was a defensive guy in Philly.
Rhodes, defensive guy.
Yeah.
But when the trend start hitting, you start seeing defense. Jim Caldwell, quarterback coach, offensive guy. Now look, call the name. We said Byron Leftwich out of there, offensive guy. Eric Bieniemy can't get the job, offensive guy. I forgot to say his name. Cincinnati and Baltimore. Well, Baltimore to Cincinnati. The Tony Dungy clone, Marv Lewis.
Marv Lewis,
defensive guy. So what are you all trying to say? Like what are you really trying to say? Are you really trying to say, just like Tank asked, is your OC who's gonna be your quarterback coach, who's next in line is leader, is your quarterback, black or white, he can't lead your guy? Like it's some subliminal messages going on around here that somebody need to get to the bottom of, because who's to say that Eric Bieniemy can't be good? Byron Leftwich made it to a championship.
Yeah, I think Bieniemy needs to.
I
would like to see him get a shot.
D'Amico
got a shot, and he's winning.
But
he's gonna have to get over. He's a defensive guy.
Defensive guy. What about your outlier, Robert Suller?
Defensive guy.
What about the guy who was in? What about the outlier that was in Miami before? He was an offensive guy.
Offensive guy from Shanahan.
So we're seeing something in that context too.
You got to steer. I think at this point, guys need black coaches in particular need to be steered towards coaching the offensive side of the ball, at least at this time.
Are they even looking for them? Like, what's the come up though? Are they even looking for him as a coordinator to have that path?
Yeah, I think you gotta. I think it's one of those things that, just like we used to say, hey, he's a quarterback. Don't let them move you like Warren Moon. Hey, I'm a quarterback. I'm not playing defensive back. I'm not playing wide receiver. I want to play quarterback. I think these coaches have to say, I'm an offensive coach. Yeah, right. I'm an offensive coach. I want to coach quarterbacks. I want to be an offensive coordinator. I want to be a head coach. Mike Tomlin was a wide receiver in college. He made his name. He was a defensive coach in the NFL.
To get in, he was a defensive coach.
Yeah,
right.
But I think they need to say, hey, I want to play. I'm on the offensive side.
Who we just got from the I forgot his name. The young man we just got from Philadelphia is a DB coach. Now he's the defensive coordinator, but he's a natural wide receiver.
Yeah,
he's an offensive guy in college. That guy, I got to get in. I got a question for you. Everybody says it in the history of the NFL. I only know one name, and this is a rarity. This is a rarity. But Tony Dungy put his stamp on that Tampa too, right?
Yeah, he used
all-time great defense, defensive running in the history of the NFL. Give me the black coach that has a West Coast offense, Gulf Coast offense, whatever scheme. Give me the black coach that got his name on a scheme offensively. Something going on. Something going on. See, y'all be too busy. Y'all be too busy tuning in. Y'all be too busy tuning in the ESPN. Y'all think Stephen A. smart because he from New York and wear them suits. He ain't thinking. You had plenty of years to dig into this and push them buttons. There's real thoughts going on over at the No Jazz. This is not just another sports show. But at any rate, that's what need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody playing, and like like Tank said, the same way Lamar Jackson told him, I'm not going to play wide receiver. I'm not going to be your DB coach if you know you offensive. I'm not going to do that. I want to watch an offensive coordinator that's ahead of me, and I'm gonna put my little wrinkle on it, and I'm gonna let you tell me I'm a genius for running a configuration of an offense I saw before. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm gonna come up.
That's what's gonna need to happen.
Then Wash and Walsh did under Wash, not Wash did under Walsh, under Paul Brown, under Tom Landry. All that. I need all that. I need that. You're not gonna move me. That's what, just like Tank said, you're not gonna move me. And we need to find out why these black coaches are not telling their sons to make a career out of the NFL like these white coaches are, these white fathers. What's going on with that?
Because I don't see, and I don't see why you wouldn't. I don't see why you would want it. I mean, especially if you there long term, you've been winning. Because ultimately it comes down to you need to be winning.
Continue to get a job.
Yeah.
Are they in those interviews telling you, don't come in here and ask for nothing else? I'll let you hear, but you can't get help. Is that what they're telling you? Is that what they're telling you? You know, all those new leagues out there, 75% of the NFL is black. How about you? How about your strategy? Be what we said, black leadership in some kind of way, because you're subliminally telling, and again, Black History Month, accountability. Accountability has to be on these players too. Give these black leaders, even though they make considerably less than you, even though their jobs are on the line and you probably can get this man fired, give that man the level of respect that you gave your coach, that you know how to give your black coach from Pop Warner League, from high school. Come on, man. That's on y'all too. But at any rate, Super Bowl weekend, baby. We done gave a prediction. But I love the fact that you gave me that. Shout out to me. Shout out to me, because I am humble enough to understand, and I'm gonna say this. I'm humble enough to understand who my right-hand man is. I keep telling y'all, Tank, this man, I'm the artsy guy. I just want to do the flash and talk on the mic and edit. Can't lie. All these topics, this is my boy. They just so happen to be things I want to talk about, and I might throw a little something in there. You know what I'm saying? But he is content director. You don't even know he had that title, but he pretty much is. I don't even know what that is, but you know what I'm saying?
Let me check my bank account. I just got a raise. Let me check my bank account.
So I just want to say, he be saying, look, he be saying these little things. He be saying these little things in the text, and you know, and the production team get it. And I be like, oh, that's not. I mess with it. So, shout out to me for being humble enough to understand who I got working with me. You know what I'm saying? And he came up with this topic that asked, this is, I want to get it right. Who's your all-time Super Bowl lineup? Meaning, and I'm going to elaborate on how he told me to elaborate. You doing offensive lineman? Okay. 22 starters, right? Offense first, all-time Super Bowl lineup, and not just well, I guess you can use whatever you want, but for the most part, you probably hear some names that have played in multiples, and they did pretty well when they were there. So,
you have
your honor coming up with you ride out first, you can go whatever side of the ball you want.
Okay, I'm gonna go offense. Again, these are players people who played in at least one Super Bowl. They need to have played well in that Super Bowl, and because we know weight is being given to those who have multiple rings if they're on here, because it's all about winning. You can't have multiple rings and you didn't play well. You can't be. Some of these you're gonna say, somebody's gonna say, why you have so and so on here? Why didn't you have so and so on? He won the best to ever play the game. Yeah, but he didn't have a good Super Bowl. So here we go. Starting with the easiest. I got two. Well, my starting quarterback, Tom Brady.
What? Okay.
My starting quarterback, Tom Brady. He played well in Super Bowl, and he got submarines. And the bottom line for me is all about winning. Now you can say, and we're talking about his performances in the Super Bowls. Number two, my backup quarterback is Joe Montana. I think that's self-explanatory.
Hold on. I'm not going to let you do that.
Okay.
I know this is your topic, but no.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's blasphemy. You need to have, because your backup quarterback can't have played well in some Super Bowls. You need to go ahead and get a backup quarterback. Elvis Gerbach.
Okay, all right, not backup. Well, because I said, okay, QB1 and QB2. But if I'm not going to have a QB2, it's going to be Brady.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Now, my offensive line, my starting tackles, Orlando Pace.
Okay.
And Anthony Munoz.
Hold on. Right or left?
I think Munoz was right and Pace was left.
All right, so you ain't doing no depth chart.
Yeah, no.
Okay, because I can't let you do that. I can't let you do that either. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Those are my tackles. My guards, Larry Allen and Mark Slera. And somebody gonna say Mark Slera. I'm like, Mark was a heck of a lineman. Mark got 3 rings. Mark wasn't alone for the ride with those 3 rings. He paved the way for Terrell Davis to have multiple 100-yard games in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying, again, these are just based on Super Bowl performance. It's not, hey, he's the all-time great. It's not that. We're talking about what they did in the Super Bowl. My center is Mike Webster. My wide receivers, Michael Irvin, Jerry Rice, and in the slot, Lynn Swann. My tight end, this is tough because one had better numbers. Because I got 2, but I'm going to go with 1. His numbers in Super Bowls were better because blocks don't show up on the stat sheet. This guy's not known as a great blocker. The other guy's a great blocker. And so I was tired. I was befuddled. But I wound up going with the guy with the most yards in the Super Bowl. I got Kelsey is my starting tight end. And if I want to go 2 tight end set, I got Gronk. I was stuck with Shannon. I was trying to decide on Shannon, but Shannon numbers in Super Bowls, they don't measure up. He didn't do much in Super Bowl as far as yardage wise. And if you go and look at his yards, he didn't have a great game yardage wise in the Super Bowls. So that's why Shannon Sharp's not on it. All right, running back, I got Emmett and I got Franco. Again, we're looking at yardage. I'm looking at the yards they put up. I got Emmett, the 3 rings, the 200. He had the 200-yard game, 100-yard game, and you got Franco, who's a leading rusher in Super Bowl history with 354. He's got 4 rings, and he's a fullback. So Emmett is my tailback. Franco is my fullback. If I had to pick, that saved me as far as being able to put both of them on. My punter, Ray Guy. My kicker, Vinatieri.
Okay, so that's your offense.
Again, these are based on what they did in their performance in Super Bowls. It's not because somebody's going to say, Walter Payton should be on there. Walter better than Franco. Walter better than Emmett. Walter Payton didn't do much at all in the Super Bowl.
William Refrigerator Perry got more touchdowns, and that's
right.
sad.
Walter had like 60-something yards rushing.
To clarify, if you want to, what holds weight is how they played.
How they played, and winning multiple
holds weight.
Counts, yeah, holds weight. Because it's all about winning, ultimately.
If you feel like Walter, 6-7 yards was good enough for you and you want to put Walter in there, whatever. But his play in the Super Bowl did not outweigh Timmy Smith. That's what he's saying. Go ahead.
Right.
Oh, that was your offense?
Yeah, that's my offense. And my kicker and my punter. All right. My defense.
Hold on.
Okay.
My offense finna take the field.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Now, hold on. I need something right quick. I need one thing, cause name your offensive lineman. Cause I want Munoz and Pace. Right tackle, left tackle. I want them.
I got Orlando Pace and Munoz as my tackles.
All right.
I got Larry Allen and Mark Slera as my guards. And I got Mike Webster as my center.
All right. I like Munoz. But I'm going to go Pace Ogden.
Ogden's a good one.
I'm going to go Pace Ogden. I'm going to go Larry guard. You know Larry, you're Larry. Larry. But I'm going to go double Larry. He can be left guard or right guard, but I'm going to go Larry Little. I'm going to go Larry Little on the other side.
Okay. And
as much as I'm trying, I'm going to stick with Mike at center. I think I can't. It's just 4 Super Bowls wins, that leadership. That's magic. I can't. I was trying not try to be funny, but the truth is the truth. So I got Larry Allen, Larry Little, Mike Webster Center, Orlando, and Jonathan. That's my line.
Okay.
My QB, this is why I couldn't let him do it.
Okay.
I'm going Joe Montana.
I can't fault you on Joe at all.
I'm going Joe Montana. Even though Steve had a good game, Joe, the multiple thing.
And never threw an interception.
And never threw a pick. Joe gonna be throwing to the playmaker and Jerry, and I'm gonna throw, this about to be crazy, but I'm gonna throw Deion Branch in the slot. Not Deion Branch.
Cook.
No, hold on. God almighty. I want to get his name right. Troy Brown. I'm gonna throw Troy. Troy had a game. Troy should have been the MVP, but they wanted to start their little ruckus with Tom. But I'm gonna throw Troy in the slot. I'm gonna throw Troy in there.
Okay.
In my backfield, I don't know who's gonna get these carries, but I'm throwing these two in my backfield behind my line. I'm finna give you a whole lot of. I'm finna give you a whole heap of Emmett. I'm finna throw some Emmett at you. But even though he ain't got but one Super Bowl, it probably was one of the greatest shows. And you know what? This was tough for me, but I'm gonna go with the old dog. I'm going Marcus Allen and Emmitt Smith in my backfield because that was one of the greatest shows I've seen in Super Bowl history.
Yeah, I thought about Marcus. I thought about Marcus. I said, okay, he had 191 yards, but then I looked. I said, okay, we know what Emmitt did. Franco at fullback with the leading rusher in Super Bowl history, and he got 4 of them, so that trumped it.
Right.
And because and I also was dealing with Terrell Davis because he put up back-to-back 100 yards. I was dealing with that. But again, the number of rings these guys got, it trumped it.
Trumped it, right?
Yeah.
I went with the spectacular game in Tampa.
Because I thought about
I need that to stand out.
Yeah, and I thought about this guy. He still got the record. I thought about Timmy Smith because
when I said the name,
but again, it was that one, and it was close though. But
because you can put
but also Franco and Emmett were both Super Bowl MVPs, and Franco at one time had the Super Bowl rushing record, single game rushing record.
And that's why I put Marcus back there because Emmett got MVP of the Super Bowl. So I let the MVPs carry the weight, even though it was one. I'm gonna wait for you to announce your defense because my offense ain't kicking field goals and punting. And we going.
All right, I got stuck on two positions. All right, starting with my defensive line. At one defensive end, I got Reggie White going down. Defensive tackle, I got Mean Joe Green. My other D tackle, so it was tough. But I had to go with Aaron Donald. I was debating between him and Sapp, but Donald had some key moments. My other DN, I ended up choosing Strahan. Some people gonna say, man, even though he didn't win one, what about Bruce Smith? Bruce had no impact in any of those games, in those Super Bowls whatsoever. Again, this is about what they did in the game, not their overall career. Because some of these guys that are on here are not gonna go down as on these lists. Some of them, you're gonna be like, so-and-so was better than him, okay? Backers, outside backers, Taylor, middle linebacker, I was torn, but I didn't want to be still a heavy. So my middle linebacker, I gave it to Ray Lewis because he did get the Super Bowl MVP, and he had 2 rings, and his first Super Bowl, he played like Superman. My other outside backer, he got 1 ring, but his impact in that game was he might have been able to get MVP on Derrick Brooks because Derrick Brooks was bringing it, pass coverage, runs, stopping the run, all that in that Super Bowl. My corners, Dion and Lester Hayes.
I already know that.
If you saw what Lester did in those 2 Super Bowls, he made the receiver disappear. Lester locked down in those Super Bowls.
Hold on. Before you just say, I'm telling on myself. Before you say he made a receiver disappear. You need to understand that the receivers he's talking about, one of them is a Hall of Famer, Harold Carmichael.
And the other one is a Hall of Famer, Art Monk.
Art Monk. Oh, was he covering Gary? See, I thought he was covering Gary.
Gary, and he covered Monk. And he told Monk, hey, because Monk was a 4.5. He said, I'm a 4.4, 4.3, so you can't run from me.
Hey. So let's talk about it. But go ahead.
Yeah. My safety, again, and this guy would have been a Hall of Famer if he had ever been able to stay healthy more than 2 seasons. But his impact in that game and his playoff run, he came back for the playoffs, and all of a sudden that defense was good. They don't win.
2006? We in 2000?
Yeah. That defense appeared once he got on the field in the playoffs. And this doesn't have to do with this playoff run, but just so you realize what kind of impact he had. And that defense showed up in the Super Bowl. Bob Sanders, I got him as safety.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I was stuck at my other safety because I was stuck at my other one because you got some who got multiples. It was a bunch of them. It's a bunch of them who I could have. But so I need somebody in coverage. Sanders was coming up hitting. Sanders was knocking folks out. So I'm going to
we know.
But it was just, I don't recall him showing out in that game. I know you're thinking about Reed, but I don't recall him showing out doing Reed things because he didn't. And because some people would say, man, Polamalu had decent Super Bowls. He didn't have great games in the Super Bowl. So, I'm gonna go with he got undressed. He got undressed in some Super Bowls too. I can't think of one. Because the ones who I'm thinking about, they won some and they lost some, and the ones they lost, they got undressed. They got exposed. Well, he got a couple of rings. Let me go with Donnie Shell. Let me go with Torpedo.
You can go with Torpedo. That's cool. I saw how much that tugged at your heart. Now,
because I thought about Atwater, but I remember Atwater getting torched by the 49ers.
The 49ers put that thing on
55-10. You can't.
We realized Atwater was downhill.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use him, and I know a lot of people gonna slap my head for this, but I'm just put this out there. Ronnie Lott is not one of my safeties.
Yeah, that's who I was gonna put, but it wasn't.
He one of my all time, but Super Bowl,
yeah.
I'm going this route, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you, my Super Bowl team is different.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna start in the middle with my fat boys.
Okay.
I'm going Warren Sapp at one defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Mean Joe on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I can switch sides if you want to. I don't care. Then, I got 2 more. This is where it got tough for me. But with those two defensive tackle, I am going to go with the all-time leader. Let me show y'all how we do this at No Jazz. I'm going to go with the all-time single-game Super Bowl sack leader.
Thought about it.
At my other end. And that's L.C. Green.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves his props today. Now, this one's about as tough as not putting Ronnie Lott in there. I'm going to go with Von Miller. It was either him or Charles. But I'm going to go with Von Miller because both him and Charles are tied career Super Bowl sacks. They show up in the Super Bowl. LC show up in the Super Bowl. Von and Charles. It was going to be Von or Charles, but I'm going to get LC had them games. LC was a gamer. So I got to give LC his props. Gamer. And he got, Von got 2.
Yeah.
Charles got
5.
I love you, Von, but I'm going with Charles because the 5 gonna trump that. And I now have 5, 9, 10, 14 Super Bowl rings on my 4 players for my all-time defense. 4. All of them are on the all-time defense. Now, we're going to go to the second level. In the middle, Ray, baby. I'll be stupid. Strong side or weak side, I don't really care, but I'm going Derek. I'm going Derek Brooks. Weak side, I'm going Derek Brooks.
Okay.
Outside, Seth called me and said, I'm stupid if I don't, but I'm going Lawrence Taylor. Nah. He gonna have his words, but the 0 Super Bowl rings is why Bruce didn't.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting handled on that run game. That 3-4, and I'm running a 4-3, so you know what I'm saying? I left Reggie out of there too, so just be real. You're talking about Super Bowl. and I put my line up. I'm cool with my line, even on your offense. I'm cool with my line getting back there to Tom. So that's Ray, Derek,
and LT.
and LT. And if I'm not mistaken, I got an all-time defense 2000. I got an all-time defense 2002, and I'm pretty sure that 1986 defense name in there somewhere, because that's the version that's coming to the game.
Yeah.
86 long.
Yeah.
Now, I was gonna do one thing, but I'm gonna do this thing instead of that thing. I was gonna be funny, but the truth of the matter is I can't be funny. Prime, you handling everything. You on your island, baby. Prime. My other corner, come on now, you got to go with Lester. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, Prime, if you can, in this Super Bowl game, I need you to wear Jerry curl too, because I want both my I want both my corners, but I want you to take Lester to the person that did yours, because I just wanted to look wet. You already have enough stick on. I just want to look wet. Now, safeties. Ed Reed, because I got Prime, I got Lester, I got Ed. With my front four, we doing some things. So that leave me. So really, I'm taking a chance because I got one dude. I'm actually my safeties are 2 free safeties. So my front 7 better do what they need to do on the in the run game, because we don't need nobody getting back there, because we kind of light. Even though Ed gonna bring that pop, but my other safety, because I got all that going on, and we've seen when you have all that going on, when you have at least here's what I noticed. When you have at least one Hall of Fame cornerback, that front line with one Hall of Fame cornerback, possibly 2 Hall of Fame, he ain't made it in a year, but 1 Hall of Fame defensive lineman, 1 Hall of Fame safety, but he ain't make my team, but 1 Hall of Fame linebacker is all you need for this dude to win the MVP of the Super Bowl. I got more than that. So my last safety is Dexter Jackson.
Okay.
Cause DJ, shout out to my boy DJ.
Yeah.
Boy, I gave you a shout out. My boy DJ
Yeah, he showed out.
gonna win the Cadillac, and then make everybody mad when he chose the Escalade instead of that new convertible sedan that they were bringing out. We remember that day. Them people off. But he my decoy, because he gonna look like the weakest link.
They gonna snag a few.
They gonna try him, and he gonna snag a few. They gonna try him, and he gonna snag a few. I was gonna put Larry out there, but Prime told me, "Nah, we ain't about to give him no more. We ain't about to give him no more." And like I said, I got so much power on offense and defense. I'm trying to figure out why I need a punt and a kicker. But if I gotta go with a kicker, I'm gonna go with Vinatieri. I ain't punting the ball. My defense, we going for it on 4th, and we gonna stop you.
It was a good lineup.
That's my
Good
line.
lineup.
That's my Super Bowl. That's my all-time. Matter of fact, we're gonna put that in the credit. We're gonna list that somewhere in the group. All-time Super Bowl lineup. And then we're gonna let the chat go do its thing. What about these guys? What about these guys? Because we know y'all gonna do it. Because we know somebody gonna be like, DJ, man.
And somebody's gonna say,
I'm playing with them 2 picks that got it started.
Yeah. And somebody
It was 6 picks that game.
And somebody's gonna say, Lester Hayes ain't the best cornerback to ever play the game. And they're not gonna listen to, hey, we talking about who did what in the Super Bowl.
Somebody gonna have a lot to say about my Marcus Allen, but you know what I'm gonna do? The first person that says something, I'm just gonna find that YouTube link, and I'm not gonna show but one play. I'm gonna show take it to the house, 1983, baby, Tampa, the real big sombrero. Stop playing. But at any rate, man, this has been. Oh, hold on, my bad. I'm not gonna even give that shout out. We've been playing around with this thing so long, man. You got any last words?
Well, we're going over, so I'll make it brief. If you haven't gone and they're coming to your town, get your tickets to the New Edition Way tour. The mics were on for everybody. Toni Braxton, I'd never seen her live before. The woman barely opens her mouth and just comes out, and it's better than what you hear on the record.
And she's such a small person.
Yeah, I mean, flawless. And her performance, the stage show, Boys to Men, we already know about them as vocalists. And Brooke Payne, shout out to Brooke Payne for giving them some choreography because they were dancing song this time.
Okay.
They did their thing, and Mike McCreary came up and joined them for a song also, and people lost their dang minds. We already know New Edition comes to throw down. They were in rare form. It was, it was all six for people who keep asking, is Bobby there? Bobby's been there for the past 10 years. I don't know why people keep saying, where's Bobby? They did most of the song. They did songs that they never do in concert, which was nice. And the stage show, not just the dancing, everybody had background dancers, so it was a whole performance. It was an old school concert from back in the day when you had live bands. You had a real stage show, pyrotechnics. You had the giant screens. You had the smoke. You had the lasers. You had all three areas, all three parts of the stage had elevators where they would raise them up from underneath the stage and take them back down on the stage. It was an excellent concert. So if it's coming to your town, you definitely need to check it out.
Shout out, because that's the second week in a row. He said he was getting a ticket and he went. You know that New Edition, my sister. I don't know if she going, but if it presents itself, she probably will. If it presents itself, and
the entrance of those three all at the same time to start the show was worth the price of admission.
Oh, really? They hold on. You say Michael McCurry was in there. Did he do his infamous line? What line I'm talking about?
Baby, I know you cheat on me. I just didn't care. You just don't understand how much I love you, do you?
Man, that had to be the most beta. Boy, hey, when we were little, that was the coolest thing. You can't say that in the Corvette.
Yeah, no, you can't say that. So in other words, I'm free to cheat.
Boy, if he didn't start he started a generation of mess. But anyway, my last word, and I'm gonna keep it brief because we done went over a lot. See, it's not late in we've been talking. It's not late in Tank Neck Woods. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna close out. Shout out to Lauryn Hill for making it to the Grammys on time to do that rendition of that tribute to Roberta Flack. That was beautiful. I loved it. I love you in your grown woman era. I like that. That was nice. I'm rocking with you on that one. I want to give you a shout out on that one. And then let me tell y'all something. This is how you know. Kind of jump a little bit. This is how you know that Michael Jackson movie about to be off for some Oscars. I'm telling you, it's about to be off for some Oscars. I don't know if you've seen them trailers, but it's about to be.
Yeah.
They putting that thing on. And here's why I know that. Coleman Domingo, what his name? Yeah, Coleman Domingo.
Yeah.
They got him looking like Shrek with a curl. He looked terrible. I don't know why they got him looking like that, but I guarantee you he dark for a reason. And I don't mean dark colored. I mean like a dark character. A dark character. I believe they about to depict Joe. We don't put the original Joe on that pedestal. I forgot to do that played him that was in
Lawrence Hilton Jacobs.
Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. He gave us Joe. So we were like, oh, that's how Joe be. They have decided. Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, hold my beer. I'm telling you, I'm looking at that makeup they got on that man, and he in them dark rooms. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some light, but I'm telling you, they probably they finna make Joe. And I guarantee you, it's gonna be like a love-hate Joe. They're gonna understand, just like Lawrence did. But boy, when he said, I gotta think about it, I already thought about it for you. Boy, they got some one-liners in that movie. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, I'm ready for that one.
It's coming. It's coming. But anyway, that was my last word. But make sure you go get them tickets because Michael coming out April. And make sure you go check out that New Edition. This has been the NOJASSSHOW. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for staying up with us late. It is closing in on the 2 o'clock hour. We want everybody to put on your seatbelts and turn your lights on. And please open up your window doors because we will be landing in the next 2 minutes. Make sure everyone just thank you for enjoying this flight. It was long. Took us a little while to take off, but we took off. Shout out to everyone that came out. Shout out to all the teams. So please be safe. Drive safely. Drink safely. Drink responsibly. Drink responsibly enough this Sunday to where when you go to work on Monday, you have to talk about it. Talking to your boss, and he knew what you did last night. Matter of fact, once you play it, you need to play it like the game's played. At the end of the third quarter, stop serving liquor. Even at the party, just stop serving liquor. We want everybody to be straight. We want everybody to enjoy this game. I wish both teams injury-free games, safe families. Unfortunately, with these competitive teams, with these competitive games, somebody got to be a loser. But it's profound to say both people win, but we know somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to y'all. I hope y'all really entertain us, man, because y'all been going through a lot these past 18 weeks, putting your bodies on the line. And we appreciate y'all for that. We appreciate y'all bringing us sports. Everybody that bring us sports. We appreciate you doing that because it gives us people, us normal couch people, an opportunity to get on these microphones and say the things that we need to say and give our own opinions about these things and argue with each other back and forth on Facebook about these things. At any rate, I just want to make sure you like, subscribe, chat, share, NOJASSSHOW@gmail.com. Let us know what's going on. Follow us on YouTube. Please subscribe. Follow us on Facebook on the Facebook page at NOJASSSHOW, No Jazz Show. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, X. Follow us, No Jazz Show. How this thing going? Even though we be up late at night. That's Tank fault because he way out west. Nah, it ain't all him. I'm a problem. Trust me. But anyway, I'm drunk. But anyway, man, it's been a great show. Tank, salute these people, man.
See y'all next week. Let's do.
You just watched another episode of No Jazz. Follow us on YouTube at No Jazz Show. And make sure you hit us up on Twitter at No Jazz Show. Make sure you hit us up on Instagram at NOJ.A.S.S. Follow us on Facebook, on our Facebook page at No Jazz Show. All right? See you soon.